The building a seamless web of trust that itself is your widest moat. Everyone's looking for the widest moat. They talk about patents, about brands, about all the tangible things you can see and touch. But I'm here to tell you, you've all got it wrong. The real moat, the one you can't see or touch, is stronger than any patent or brand. It's the most powerful business model I've ever seen, and it's what I call a seamless web of trust. Sounds old-fashioned, doesn't it? Trust. Who even talks about trust these days? But I can guarantee you, this ancient, almost forgotten concept is the only ultimate weapon I've seen that can stand the test of time and defend against all forms of human folly. The best position in business is when everyone is lining up to work with you. Think about it. What happens when you build a seamless web of deserved trust? Your customers are practically begging to do business with you because they know deep down that you deliver real value and you won't screw them over in the fine print. Your suppliers offer you the best prices and the longest payment terms because they know your check will never bounce. Dealing with you is like putting money in the safest bank. The most talented people are knocking down your door, not because you pay the most, but because they know they'll be treated like human beings. Their contributions will be fairly recognized, and they won't have to waste their energy on the asinine game of office politics. Trust is the most underrated lubricant in the world of commerce. When trust exists, everything gets simpler. Contracts get thinner. Negotiations get shorter. The lawyers have nothing to do but sit around and drink coffee. All the transaction costs, the monitoring, the beakering, the endless back and forth, all of that friction evaporates and approaches zero. Your entire business machine runs like a perfectly greased engine, smooth, efficient, without a single squeak. And your competitors? They're still hiding behind thick contracts, still haggling with suppliers over pennies. They're still worrying that their best people will walk out the door tomorrow with a list of their top clients. Their organizations are riddled with friction. Every step forward consumes enormous amounts of energy. Now you tell me, who has the advantage? The reputation is built over a lifetime of honesty, but it can be destroyed in 5 minutes of folly. I've seen too many brilliant people with off-the-charts IQs who can build the most complex financial models that can't do the simplest math of all, calculating the value of a reputation. They'll tweak product specs to win a deal. They'll hide expenses in the next quarter to make the current report look good. They think they're being clever, that they've pulled a fast one. To me, it's just hopelessly dumb. Every little act of dishonesty is you personally tearing a small hole in that web of trust. The one hole, then another. And pretty soon, the whole thing is in tatters and can't be fixed. You think you've made a little extra money, but what you've actually done is destroy your most precious, non-replicable asset. It's like the farmer who starves his goose, that lays golden eggs just to save a little on feed. They treat integrity as a business strategy, not a moral platitude. A lot of people pay lip service to integrity. They treat it like some optional moral decoration to sprinkle on their annual reports. This is a profound misunderstanding. In my view, integrity and honesty are the most ruthless and practical business strategies you can adopt. This isn't about being a soft-hearted pushover. Quite the opposite. It's a filtering mechanism. It's a signal you broadcast to the world. When you insist on only dealing with other honorable people, you automatically filter out the crooks, the opportunists, and the short-term thinkers. You'll slowly find yourself surrounded by a network of partners who also think long-term. You trust each other, and you make each other better. The power of this network of high-quality people is immense. Even if a charlatan tries to infiltrate, they won't last long. Their tricks and games just don't work in an environment like that. Building a web of trust is like planting an oak tree. It requires immense time and patience. The world moves too fast. Everyone wants to get rich quick. Plant the seed today, harvest tomorrow. But building trust isn't a magic trick. There are no shortcuts. It requires you to do the right thing, day in and day out, year after year, every small detail when no one is watching. At every temptation where you could cut a corner, you have to choose the harder path, the only path that's right. It's boring, it's hard work, and in the short run, it often looks like you're losing. While your competitor is landing a huge contract with flashy promises, you're quietly refining your product. While others are using financial engineering to pump up their stock price, you're reinvesting your profits back into the business. But time is on your side. 10, 20 years go by, and you'll find that those high-flying speculators have long since vanished into dust. And you've grown into a mighty oak tree with deep roots and a sprawling canopy, unshakable by any storm. Don't be the fool who is penny-wise and pound-foolish. I have seen this happen countless times in my life. A company with a perfectly good reputation makes a stupid decision for a tiny short-term gain. Maybe they switch to a cheaper, lower quality supplier. Maybe they lay off a group of loyal, long-time employees to save on costs. Maybe they play accounting games to pretty up a quarterly report. Every single time, they think they're being smart, saving a buck here, winning some applause there. But what they can't see is the invisible erosion of their trust asset. Customers start questioning their quality. Employees become anxious and disloyal. Long-term investors start voting with their feet. That seamless web of trust is torn apart by their own hands. They picked up a penny and dropped a fortune. This kind of short-sightedness is rampant in the human condition, which is precisely why truly great, enduring businesses are so rare. Your web of trust is your deepest moat because it cannot be bought with money. A competitor can copy your product. They can poach your employees. They can even undercut you on price. But they can never replicate the decades of trust you've built with your customers, your employees, and your suppliers. That relationship is not for sale. A chemical reaction, an emotional connection, a deep-seated human recognition. Your customers believe in their bones that this company will never cheat me. Their sensitivity to price goes way down. Your employees feel from the bottom of their hearts that this is a cause I would devote my life to. Their creativity and loyalty are things no KPI could. the measure. This web, once woven, is nearly indestructible. It makes your business run smoother, gives you a huge cushion in a crisis, and allows you to thrive even in the dead of winter for your industry. They watch out for the smooth talkers. They are often the destroyers of trust. I'm naturally suspicious of people who can talk a good game, the ones who can sell you a gold bar made of straw. The business and investment worlds are full of them. They're eloquent. They can paint the most tantalizing pictures of the future, and they can get even the sharpest minds excited. But if you just watch what they do, not what they say, you'll find that all their actions point to one goal: maximizing their own short-term gain. They will not hesitate to sacrifice the interests of customers or partners to hit their numbers. These people are the most dangerous virus to a web of trust. They appear efficient and can generate amazing results in the short run, but they leave a trail of scorched earth wherever they go. They corrode the company culture, dishearten the honest employees, and eventually turn a good business into a playground for speculators. So, my advice is simple. Stay far away from these people. Never do business with them. Be a person worthy of the trust of others. That's the starting point for everything. We're always talking about how to win other people's trust, but we rarely ask ourselves the fundamental question: am I worthy of being trusted? This is a deeply important question. Do you do what you say you will do? Do you stick to your principles when no one is looking? Do you treat your shareholders' money with the same care you treat your own? Do you truly put the customer's interest ahead of your own? If you can't do these things yourself, how can you possibly expect others to trust you unconditionally? So, the first and most crucial step in building a web of trust is to work on yourself. You have to forge your own character until it's like pure gold. Its quality remains unchanged, no matter how many times it's tested by fire. When you yourself become a solid, reliable node of trust, you will naturally attract other reliable nodes. That's how the web grows larger and stronger. Don't make the world more complicated than it is. The essence of most things is dead simple. Those people on Wall Street love to invent complex models and fancy jargon. They make simple things sound mystical, as if only their big brains can understand them. But the way I see it, the core principles of investing and running a business are no different from running a grocery store in a small town. It all comes down to this: don't cheat anyone, offer real value, and be decent to people. If you do that, day after day, your business will do just fine. Customers will trust you, and your neighbors will respect you. Now, scale that simple model up to a multinational corporation, and the underlying logic still holds. The only difference is that as the scale gets bigger, the temptations get bigger. And the number of people who can stick to those basic principles becomes vanishingly small. People are always looking for some secret to success. The biggest secret is that there is no secret. It's all the simple homespun truths your grandmother taught you when you were a kid. It's just that most people grow up and forget them. In the business world, stupidity is more dangerous than malice. I've met some real scoundrels in my life, calculating, ruthless people. But in the long run, the damage they cause is often less than the damage caused by well-intentioned fools. A scoundrel, at least, is predictable. His actions have a certain logic. A foolish manager, his decisions are often calamitous, and he doesn't even know it. He might skip a small maintenance fee and end up crippling an entire production line. He might chase some trendy management fad and throw the whole company into chaos. The most common form of folly is the one I keep mentioning, sacrificing long-term reputation for a short-term gain. This doesn't happen because these people are evil. It happens because their brains just aren't powerful enough to see the second and third order consequences of their actions. They're like novice chess players who can only see one move ahead, completely blind to the master's deep and far-reaching strategy. The same is true for building a web of trust. It's not malice that tears the web apart. It's plain old stupidity. Find the right partners, then trust them completely. This unleashes enormous energy. I've been incredibly lucky in my life to have found some truly outstanding partners. The way we work together is very simple. We spend a long time getting to know each other. But once we're sure that we've found the right person, we grant them almost 100% trust and autonomy. Don't second guess each other on minor details or play little games behind the scenes. We know our goals are aligned and our characters are sound. In an environment like that, everyone's potential can be fully realized. We don't waste energy on internal squabbles. We can focus all our attention on solving the real external problems. The efficiency and creativity that come from a partnership driven by high trust are astounding. The contrast that with so many companies today that are riddled with distrust. Departments are siloed, guarding their turf, suspicious of each other. It's like a country using its best troops to prevent a civil war. What's left to defend against the enemy at the gates? Never ever deceive someone who trusts you. That is the most expensive debt you can ever incur. A financial debt, with enough hard work, can always be repaid. But a debt of trust, once you owe it, you might carry it for life. When someone, be it a customer, an employee, or a shareholder, places their money, their time, their future in your hands based on their trust in you, you take on a profound responsibility. If you betray that trust, you lose far more than just that person or that one deal. You lose points from your reputation score in the entire social network. The word gets around. People will mentally attach a not trustworthy label to your name. That label will follow you like a ghost for the rest of your career. You'll find that it becomes harder and harder to do business. Talented people will keep their distance. Good opportunities will mysteriously pass you by. That is the invisible, yet incredibly high price you pay for that one act of betrayal. The world is always changing, but the fundamental laws of human nature are constant. Technology changes, markets change, consumer tastes change. A hot business model today could be worthless tomorrow. This makes a lot of people anxious. They're constantly chasing the next big thing, terrified of being left behind. But I feel quite calm, because I know that no matter how much the outside world changes, some things at the very bottom never will. For instance, people will always appreciate a good product at a fair price. People will always admire honest and dependable character. People will always prefer to deal with those who make them feel comfortable and safe. These fundamental laws of human nature are the laws of gravity in the business world. As long as you align yourself with these laws, as long as you do the basic things to an extreme degree, you will build a solid, sustainable enterprise. And building a seamless web of trust is simply the most profound insight into and the highest application of these laws of human nature. Let your name become a synonym for dependable. Imagine this. When people mention your name or your company's name, what's the first word that comes to mind? Is it smart, rich, powerful? Those are fine, but they aren't the best. The best word is dependable. When the word dependable is securely attached to you, you hold a trump card. Dependable means your promises are kept. Dependable means your product quality is assured. Dependable means you treat your partners fairly. This is an intangible asset whose value compounds exponentially over time to bring you the best opportunities, attract the best people, and allow you to do the most difficult things at the lowest possible cost. Devote your entire life to building that personal brand of dependable. The return on that investment will be far greater than any stock or piece of real estate. The compounding effect applies to reputation, not just money. We all know the magic of compound interest. A sum of money, given enough time and a positive rate of return, can grow to an astronomical figure. Reputation and trust follow the exact same law. Every honest transaction, every promise kept, is a small deposit into your reputation account. At first, you won't see much of an effect, but over time, these little deposits start to earn interest. Your good name brings you more opportunities, and these opportunities further enhance your reputation, creating a virtuous cycle. After a decade or two, you'll be amazed to find you've accumulated a massive fortune in your reputation account, a fortune that will provide you with a steady stream of returns in every aspect of your life. That's the power of compounding reputation. The tragedy is that most people only know how to calculate the compound interest on money. They are completely blind to this far more powerful and durable compounding effect. To judge a person, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do under pressure. The person's true character is only revealed when they are faced with pressure, temptation, and hardship. The market is booming and profits are rolling in. Anyone can be a saint. Every company can have customer first plastered on their walls. But what happens when a recession hits? When a competitor starts a price war that backs you into a corner? When a dishonest shortcut appears that could easily solve your problems? Their choice in that moment is what truly defines you. Do you sacrifice quality to lower costs? Do you lay off employees to protect your profit margin? Or do you uphold your commitments to your customers and your people, even if it comes at a great cost? It's the decisions made in these tough moments that weave the true fibers of your web of trust. The web woven by people and companies that hold fast to their principles under pressure is the only kind that has the resilience to withstand any storm. To find a simple model, and do it over and over. That is the path to wisdom. In my whole life, I've had no earth-shattering, original theories. All I did was grasp a few of the most basic, most important principles of human behavior and business. And then, over a long life, I practiced them with the discipline of a monk. Building a web of trust is the most central of these principles. The idea itself isn't complex. In fact, it's so simple, it's almost boring. The real challenge is whether you can resist your own greed and the temptations of the world to stick with this correct but tedious task for decades. People love novelty and excitement. They think that's where the shortcuts to success are hidden. But in my view, true wisdom is found in the oldest, simplest, and most cliché principles that everyone ignores. If you can take these simple principles and live by them for a lifetime, you will naturally set yourself apart. In the end, your business is an extension of your character. No matter how large a company is, or how sophisticated its systems are, its ultimate temperament and behavior will always bear the deep imprint of its founder or core leader. A leader who is an opportunist cannot build a truly trustworthy company. A leader who is cruel to his employees cannot expect them to be sincere with customers. Your company is a mirror. It will honestly reflect the person you are. So, if you want to build a great enterprise based on trust, the first thing you must do is strive to become a person who is worthy of trust. You must constantly reflect, learn, and overcome the weaknesses in your own human nature. The process is far more important and far more difficult than learning any business technique. But once you've done it, you will not only have built a successful business, you will have become a better, more complete version of yourself. And that, perhaps, is the ultimate return on this long journey. So, forget the fancy jargon and the short-term tricks. Get back to the fundamental question. Ask yourself, what kind of web am I weaving? Is it a flimsy net of lies and speculation that will tear at the first touch? Or is it a seamless, indestructible web of trust, woven from daily acts of integrity, fairness, and honor? Your answer will determine how far you ultimately go. And make no mistake, this isn't some moral lecture. This is the only long-term strategy for survival and success that I know actually works.